Before I shower, I brush my hair, which I already did. Do I brush my teeth in the shower or do I brush them out of the shower? Right now we're out of the shower phase, so I always brush my teeth before I shower. Alright, shower is completed.
Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be talking about, as you can tell in the title, Amberlynn Reid, the co-host of this channel. We actually haven't talked about Amber in a while, and the main focus that we're going to be talking about is how did I get to this point in my life? But the main focus we're going to be talking about is does Amberlynn Reid actually shower? I know, riveting stuff. But before we get into that, I just kind of wanted to update you guys on what's been going on with Amberlynn Reid in the past few months, because I haven't made a video, I think, since like August. So in that time, Amberlynn Reid actually moved back home to, well, not back to her home, but back to Oklahoma, where her family is from. And from what I can understand, she's living like pretty close to her mother, who her mother and her have been together in quite a few videos, doing things together. And that's kind of been a big deal because Amberlynn Reid is a serial dater, I think people would say, where she is in relationships almost constantly. And there's a lot of speculation as to why that is. And a lot of people have, will go on to say that Amberlynn Reid is in relationships because she needs basically a caretaker in her home with her, or else she's not able to do a lot of things. So a lot of times it seems like the pattern is she gets into a relationship and then immediately that person moves in with her, and then that person is a caretaker for her. And then a lot of people will speculate that they feel that relationship just isn't the healthiest because they feel that the person that is the caretaker is taking advantage of Amberlynn and, you know, the money that she has, and in turn, they're almost just basically like a stay-at-home nurse almost kind of thing, right? And so that was something that happened. So Amberlynn Reid broke up with her girlfriend, and now she is living back in Oklahoma. And one thing, this doesn't really have much to do with the rest of the video, but I just thought it was interesting. So because it's something that I am going through myself, is Amberlynn Reid talked about in a recent video about going to church with her mom. So I'm going to play that clip and share my thoughts. Before we go any further in the video, I do want to thank our sponsor. Who is that? It's me. So I'm actually really excited about this. I posted about it on my community tab, but I actually just released an app, and in that app there are going to be different workouts. So something that a lot of people have been asking for is like workout programs, and so I wanted to create workout programs that people can do from home, and then you can also do them at the gym. So in the app I created, there's two different like workout tracks. And so there's one that's body weight movements, and there's one that all you need is a dumbbell or a kettlebell, just a singular dumbbell or a singular kettlebell. So if you want to get one of those, you can do that as well. And so I created these workouts to make them as simple as possible, but obviously you can push yourself and make them really difficult for yourself. But I just wanted to create something where, you know, you could go to the app, find a solid workout, do that, and then you're good to go. Like, I just want these to really kind of just take the guesswork out of whatever it is that you need to do at the gym. Or for a lot of people that might be a little nervous about going to the gym, this can be a great like first step. And so if you're at all interested, please feel free. There will be a link in the description of this video. There's also a free 7-day trial, so you can try it out and just see what you think with no commitment. You don't have to worry about anything. But this is something that I'm very excited about. I've been working on it for a very long time. And so like I'm just really proud of it. Like if there's any movements that you're not familiar with, there's videos for every single movement. You never have to guess like, what is that? There will be a video of me doing it with maybe not the best form, but like, I just think that it's great. I'm really proud of it. So if that's something that you're interested in, it'll be there in the description. I'm really excited for it. Again, free 7-day trial. But without further ado, let's get back into the video.
Today, we're actually going to church. If you guys don't know anything about me, I am agnostic, but my mom does believe in God and all that, so she wants to
So a little bit about me was I'm not even, people are going to get upset with me for sharing this, but whatever. So I grew up actually going to church. And so it's interesting because it's a little bit different here. So I actually grew up going to church, and I was like a pretty strong believer. I was actually the vice president of the Christian club at my high school. And I played drums in a lot of like worship bands at the churches and stuff like that. And I went for most of my life. And the reason that I was a strong believer is because when I was really young, I was actually taken away from my mom because she was a drug addict. And I actually got put back with her because she got clean. And the way that she got clean was that she went to a rehabilitation center that happened to also be like, it was like a church sponsored rehabilitation center. And she got clean there. And she always has felt that like she was able to get clean because of God, right? There was no other way that it could have happened. And so I was always, you know, it was just a big part of her testimony and my life growing up. So I went to church my entire life. And within the past like 4 or 5 years, I don't really share the same beliefs anymore. I would say maybe I'm agnostic, atheist. I don't really know exactly where I stand there. But it is interesting. Like there's a little bit of, you know, correlation there between us.
Share this experience with me. Church was actually so much fun. It was nothing like I expected. I've never been to a church like that. Like a live band, like that started off by singing Come Together, one of my most favorite songs ever.
That's interesting. I don't know if it's the Come Together, I think by the Beatles. I've never been in a church where they play any what they call secular music. I always, the churches that I've played at, it was always worship music. You know, CCM is what it's called, Christian contemporary music, kind of rock driven. And that's the stuff that we normally play. But yeah, like if you've never been to, like if you grew up maybe Catholic or just more of a fundamental church where they don't really have live music, it's definitely like, if you've never been there, it's like, whoa, this is like a party. It really is quite a bit of fun, if I'm being honest. Like if you're just there on Sunday and you're just like, hey, this is cool, you know?
I started getting into the more like, I love Jesus, I love God. Once it became that, I did feel a certain type of energy and I ended up crying, which honestly isn't surprising because every time I've gone to church, 9 times out of 10, I shed at least one tear.
Yeah, that's... I think for a lot of places, it's almost kind of by design, because I think it's a really powerful experience. If you've never been in a situation like that, when the lights go down and the music is like there to make you feel a certain way, and the way that it flows and the way that the lights are and the way that people are speaking and the whole shared experience, it can be really overwhelming. It's just interesting. The reason that this was even interesting to me is because I currently am kind of going through something similar. So I don't want to use anything crazy, but like I right now am playing drums at a church, which is, I know you're probably like, John, you should not be doing that. I'm doing it to help someone out that doesn't have anyone else to play drums. And they asked me to do it and I want to help them out. And so that's what I'm doing, but it is definitely weird. I feel strange. I don't know if like people know that I don't necessarily believe everything. I don't know if that's like allowed. I don't really know, but it is very interesting. It's like I am in a similar position, but it is very common for people to have these, very intense experiences at these places, because I mean, a lot of it's kind of built to be that way.
The music was just like beautiful. Like it was just a really good time. I loved it so much. My mom knows that this is not going to change my opinion on how I feel about God, whatever. I don't really talk about religion on my channel, so we don't really have to get into that. But
I understand that. It's usually not a fun time when I do.
But like, I know that for her, God is the reason why she's 8 years sober. And to me, that is special.
And that was like, when I heard that, I was like, wow, because that's that's something I relate to so much. It's like the life, like I've talked about this before in the past, like the life that I probably would have lived if my mom didn't get clean. I don't even know. Like my life was not good growing up. We were very, very poor, but like, at least I was with my mom, right? Like the life that I could have lived probably would have been separated from my brother and sister. I wouldn't have, I just don't even know, right? Like I have literally no idea where I would be right now. And so I can understand that like feeling, because my mom obviously is still a believer and I don't, she talks to me about it and like, I'm never trying to hurt her feelings. I just have to, live what I believe is true and the things that I have seen and not seen and felt and not felt, right? But this has literally nothing else to do with the rest of the video. But you know what? It's my channel, and I'm going to talk about what I want. So the main thing that we're going to be talking about is Amberlynn Reid and her shower habits. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I'm here. And so Amberlynn, in the past, I think the reason that this is even brought up and it's talked about quite a bit is because Amberlynn in the past has made videos talking about times where she was not showering.
There was a large portion of 2019, if not the whole 2019, where I literally couldn't shower. I bathed in bed. I bathed in bed.
And she made that pretty public. And I don't know. It's one of those things that when you are a public figure, when you have a platform, like you do want to be open. But the thing that sucks is that sometimes when you are open, especially someone like Amberlynn Reid that is very divisive in her presence online, when you are open, it sucks, but people will end up almost using that against you. And it seems like that's what's kind of happening with Amberlynn Reid right now. And I want to make it clear. I think that a lot of people, when I talk about Amberlynn Reid, obviously people watch the videos and that's always nice. But one of the biggest criticisms I always get is that I'm not hard enough on her or I'm too nice. And for a while that used to bother me. But now at this point, I'm just like, whatever. Like, I'm going to share how I truly feel about the situation. And I'm going to just tell what I truly believe, not what I think the people that watch every Amberlynn Reid video and know every little detail about her life and micromanage every single little thing want me to say and that will make them happy and make them continue watching. I don't care. All right, at this point, I really don't care that much. If you don't want to watch my videos because I don't completely agree with you, that's totally fine. So this is a clip right here of Amberlynn Reid in her apartment, kind of almost I feel like it's almost so obvious, and sometimes I'm like, you are too obvious with like trying to disprove every single comment that you disagree with or that you feel like is wrong, because it's so obvious that this clip exists because she wants to prove to people that she showers. So here we go.
Before I shower, I brush my hair, which I already did, to get all of the knots out. Before I wash my hair, I go through phases where do I brush my teeth in the shower or do I brush them out of the shower? Right now we're out of the shower phase, so I always brush my teeth before I shower. All right, shower is completed.
So there we go. We have proof that Amberlynn Reid showers. So this is one of those things that I just feel like is so silly that people have latched onto this, and this is such a big deal for them, because like for me, I just don't think it matters that much. Like, if I'm being completely honest, if she wants to shower, this is the stuff that like people that will have, maybe negative things to say, or even, people that will make videos, there's genuine criticism, man. There's genuine criticism. And especially even if we're talking about, being a weight loss channel that hasn't lost any weight in a long time, that has gained weight, and that how that has affected her community and how that has affected her relationship with her community, that stuff is genuinely interesting to me. But focusing on whether or not someone showers or how often they do, and like that to me is so unbelievably, like it's such a waste of time. And I do not understand why this has become such a big deal to people. Like, really, I don't get it. Again, there are genuinely things that I find interesting. Why I started talking about Amberlynn Reid and her relationship with her community and her relationship with her channel and her relationship with weight and trying to lose it and struggling with that and gaining the weight, and that stuff is interesting. But focusing on whether or not someone is showering enough and whether or not they are, I truly don't get it. And this is one of those things that I feel like, especially with Amberlynn, it's like it's so clear that the community that follows her is so just based in not liking her that almost anything that she does, for the most part, people are going to have issues with it, right? Because there's this short that I'm going to show you where it's someone talking about the same similar thing. And if you look at the comments on it, the amount of support is massive. If Amberlynn Reid made the exact same video, it would be completely opposite. So this is the short right here. This is from the creator Elise Myers, I believe is how you say their name, but they're talking about struggling with showering. So
working up the courage to get in the shower right now. It's been a few days, more than a few days. I don't really want to think about how many days it's been. And I know that the moment I get into the shower, it's going to be the best thing I've ever experienced. And it's going to be very relaxing. And I'm going to get out and be like, oh my God, I'm a new woman. It solved 90% of my problems. I'm going to get into bed and feel super clean and sleep great. But the moment between now and like when I get into the shower is my own personal hell. And I can't explain that.
So that's the video, and if you like just skim through the comments, I mean, they're basically almost entirely supportive, right? Almost entirely supportive. And I'm not gonna sit here and say I understand that, because I personally, I shower multiple times a day. I really enjoy showering. I can't imagine not showering multiple times a day. But again, everyone's different. I'm not sitting here thinking about it too much. Like I don't care that much. And I think it goes to show just how much of a difference there is in just how little, I think, respect for Amberlynn there is in the community that watches her videos. And I'm not even saying that that's the fault of her community. I think that Amberlynn Reid herself has done a lot of damage there. And again, I'm not trying to, people are going to be upset with me because whenever I make a video and I'm not completely, wholly 100% against Amberlynn Reid and say that she's the worst thing ever, and people get upset with me, but I do think that there's nuance. I think that Amberlynn Reid has absolutely a ton to do with the fact that her audience is not very nice to her. But I just think that it is interesting seeing the difference in how she is treated versus another creator that might have a similar thing, just because of who they are. I think that a lot of people might say, oh, it's because it's like fat phobia because Amberlynn is as large as she is. I wouldn't be surprised if that played a role in it, but I really don't think that that's all that there is to it. I think that there's a lot more to it than just that. I think that maybe that plays a role in it, but I think just the history that she has with her community and, the controversy after controversy after controversy, it's just turned into this really weird and very sad and toxic kind of relationship between her audience and her. And I really don't at this point, like before I used to really think like, oh, if Amberlynn Reid lost the weight, I feel like people would be, would back off. At this point, I really don't know. Like, I really don't know. I'm not going to say that it wouldn't work, but I don't know. Because it's just at this point, it feels like she can almost do nothing right. But I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. I'm probably going to get destroyed in the comments. That's okay. It is what it is. That's how I genuinely feel. And so if you disagree, that's totally fine. But let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. Or let me know about what you think about the other stuff we talked about, with the churches and stuff like that. I don't know. That stuff's interesting to me too. But let me know. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you next time. Peace.